Hi, my name is Tiffany. I am over 30 and I've suffered from social anxiety most of my life. I am scattered-brained with lots of interest and barely any experience. My entire life I've been afraid of society's reaction to anything I do. I'm trying to change that. I think I'll start with my latest events that triggered my anxiety's fight or flight response. Last Friday, after coming back from a sick day, I returned to my receptionist job at a tax preparing office. I work on what we call campaign calls, where we try to win back former clients. It's my first time doing them this year, since I didn't have access to do them last year when I first started at this company. One person said he had already set an appointment. Suppose that meant he was in the system twice. I called over my supervisor, who I tried to explain the issue to. I went to the other listing to try to copy his number to do an update in order to get things right. That's when she asked what the hell was I doing. She assumed that I didn't know what I was doing, apparently. That's when a client walked in, so I pivoted to get him checked in. During this time, my supervisor was trying to put the other guy in twice so it can be recognized as him being one back. But since I had already started the process, she went on to the next guy on the win-back list to put him in for an appointment. When I told her this, she said next time I needed help because I didn't know how to do it. When in reality, this was on her. Only thing I needed to know was how to classify the client as being one back when he was already in the system. The next issue that day occurred while I was making more campaign calls. I decided to look up those on my win-back list to see if they had appointments like the previous person did, as a way to look ahead to make sure I didn't have any other issue. So I asked if I should do the same like the previous guy. The supervisor raised her voice a bit, saying something along the lines of, "I don't care," or "I don't need you looking if they had appointments." Then once I finished the campaign calls, I sat and waited. Checked the upcoming appointment and waited for them to come in. Plus, I needed some time to zone for the events that already happened that day. Toward the end of the day, she said I was quiet and what's wrong. I assumed she was talking about my emotional being, so I said nothing. I was wrong. She said that's a problem, then proceeds to talking about needing to make a certain number of campaign calls for the office. I stood up about to say bye and that I was leaving, but the supervisor was on a phone call. She got snippy again. She said, "You see I'm on the phone," as if I was just gonna leave without saying I was leaving. Then said, "Well, whatever, bye." Additionally, it was warm that day, and the heat was on. I mentioned casually that I think the heat was getting to me. I was feeling a bit lightheaded and dizzy, and probably partially thanks to the anxiety. She said that ain't my problem, take it up with God. Usually this woman is fairly nice, in her own way, but that day felt like an onslaught against me. I usually try not to cry in public. I did get teary-eyed, but made sure it didn't show. This instance, I felt very flighty. I desperately wanted to quit. It was my usual go-to response when things like this happen. My husband encouraged me to stick it out 1 or 2 more weeks. Postscript. I'm starting to develop a sore throat, so the supervisor would just love that. Wish me luck this week.